Hello, I'm Bruce Cherry and I'm one of Cultural Experience's Battlefield Guides. Well, I think my favourite battlefields often depend on the time of year one might be visiting them because they change significantly. But I think if I had to choose just one battlefield, it would be Gallipoli. And my main reason for that would be that Gallipoli is not really one battlefield, it's three. We've got three very distinctive terrains, and being able to contrast between them offers lots of interesting questions and gives you a great deal of variety in one particular area. I regard a guy called José San Martin as one of the great commanders in history. He's a guy that many of us in the English-speaking world don't know about because he was one of the liberators of Latin America, and I think probably his most famous feat would have been taking his army across the Andes in 1817 and attacking through Chile and up through Peru, and it was a feat to rival that of Hannibal's feat, but one I say that we're not always aware of in the English-speaking world. Guiding for cultural experience is a great opportunity of travelling with like-minded people, and I think I would say that would probably be my most rewarding aspect of it. They're usually people who enjoy the battlefield, who have a great deal of knowledge themselves, and you end up learning as much off your fellow travellers as you hope they're learning from your tour. My most memorable event actually is to do with the people I've met rather than an episode, and I think probably the most memorable tours I've had are where I've been out with veterans. I had a great fortune to take the Winnipeg Rifles on a Normandy battlefield tour, and this included 8 guys who'd actually landed on Juno on that morning at 7 a.m. Recently too, I had a wonderful opportunity of going out with a 90-year-old gentleman veteran called Shindo, who had fought with the American Japanese in the Vosges, and he'd been the survivor of a battle where 135 men had gone in and he was one of only 8 that had returned. Doing a battlefield alongside somebody like that is very humbling indeed. I guess, like most people, one's attraction to military history comes through a family link, and my father, grandfather and great uncle all had stories, military stories, and from differing campaigns and serving in different countries, so it was fairly natural that I would get an interest in it, though I never wanted to serve in the military myself. My favourite film without a shadow of doubt is Zulu, and I can watch that film every year. I guess that's because I have Welsh heritage, but I still think that's just a remarkable action film, boy's own adventure, and I think stimulates almost everybody to want to go along and see where the action took place. My ambition, I think, my bucket list, if you like, of battlefields is quite long, but I definitely want to go to Salonika, and that's largely because of a family connection. I thumbed through Cultural Experience's brochure, and I could not choose which of the tours that I would like to go on other than the ones I take myself. There are just so many fascinating itineraries, and flicking through the brochure, it just makes you realise how much there is still to see. So I really couldn't say there's just one that I would pick. The biggest military blunder would probably be, well, two. One would be connected with San Martin and the failure of the Spanish to appreciate that they could be attacked from an army crossing the Andes. So they failed defensively, great blunder in military terms. Of course, the other great military misadventure, shall we say, or blunder, would have been the British in Gallipoli, in just totally misunderstanding how hard the Turks would fight to protect their own land. The greatest military myth will probably seem a bit strange when I've just said that Zulu is my favourite film given my Welsh heritage, because of course as soon as you start reading the real stories, especially of Rorke's Drift, you start realising that actually most of the guys involved were probably from Gloucester rather than from South Wales, which can be a bit of a disappointment to we Welsh.